Hello students, welcome to Btech360. We're doing a series of videos to help students decide the best college, best course based on the JoSAA, JEE Main or JEE Advanced rank. And the JoSAA counseling round 1 results have already come out, right? So what we're going to talk now is IIT Bombay and how it's fluctuated between 25 and 26, and what are your chances of getting into IIT Bombay for any branch that is out there. And before I move further, please do subscribe to Btech360 if you've not already done that. If you want me to cover anything, please message me in the message box here and I'll be happy to cover that. And I must thank a university partner, University of Victoria, for partnering with us in this endeavor to ensure that students take the most informed decision. Now, IIT Bombay, round 1 closing rank is what we're talking about because JoSAA counseling round 1 is, the results are in. When you look at IIT Bombay, there are some branches which have become more competitive, which means that the rank requirement has fallen. And for some branches, the rank requirement has grown. It also possibly signifies the demand that is there for those branches in IIT Bombay itself, or possibly for some of the branches there are better institutions which are coming up, which are possibly delivering a better outcome for those particular branches. So both can happen at the same time. So let me explain to you how it's happened. For Btech CSE, 66 was the rank last year. It is now 65. So it become more competitive. Most students are making sure that they want to study at Btech CSE here itself. So round 1 open cutoff is what we're talking of. Btech Electrical, it is last year, it was 418. It's now 400. It's fallen by 18 ranks. By the way, last year, if you see, for Btech CSE, 66 it started, ended with 66 by round 6. This year also, in my opinion, at 65 it will end. No one is going to give it up. So you will actually be closing Btech CSE at 65. Now for electrical, last year it started with 418 but ended with 433. So this time also a similar trend is what I think. So at about 420 is what you can expect it to be ending as far as IIT Bombay is concerned. For Btech Industrial and Engineering and Operation Research, it was 1,133 last year. This year it's 834. It's a dramatic fall of 299 ranks. So how it's going to pan out, I don't know. But last year the 1133 went up to 1273. So if you actually add only 150, we're dealing with less than 1,000 for you to get into IIT Bombay for this particular branch. For Btech Engineering Physics, it was 1483 last year. It's now 1435, a drop of 48 ranks. And last year it ended with 1539. So you can expect it to end with about 1500. BS Economics, it ended with 2312 last year. It is now 2270, a drop of 42 ranks. Last year it ended with 2372. So this year, in my opinion, it will end up with about 2325 or something like that. Right? We're now comparing not just the round 1 between last year and this year. We're also talking of what happened in round 6 so that you actually have some kind of a pathway to understand how it's going to happen. Btech Metallurgical Engineering, 4119 is what ended last year. It is now 3941, a drop of 178 ranks. And last year it ended with 4345. So I don't know how it's going to pan out, but a drop of 178 is quite big. BS Applied Geophysics, last time it was 7722. This time it's 6691, a massive drop of 1031 ranks. Massive drop. And we actually have to wait and see because last year it ended 8343. In my opinion, this year it will end up with about 7,500 is what I'm expecting. Right. Now, the other things. Now, earlier we talked of where there is greater competition, where there is more demand as far as IIT Bombay for those branches concerned. Now we're talking of branches where the rank has fallen, which means that last year it was 1,000, it became 1,200 or 1,100 this year, right? So when we look at that, start with Btech and MTech Electrical Engineering and dual degree. 830 was last year. It's now 844, a drop of 14. It ended with 841. So this year it will also end up with about 840, 840, not more than that. Right. Now, BS Mathematics, 957, this is a good program by the way, was last year. It is now 1042, a drop of 85 ranks. A drop of 85 ranks. When it was 957, it ended with 1067. So in my opinion, this will end with 1100. Btech Mechanical, it was 1766 in the round 1 closing we are talking of, and it's now 1852 this year. So a drop of 86 ranks. And last year it ended with 1834. Right? If you deal with that, this might end with about 1900. Btech Energy Engineering, 2452 it was last year. It is now 2588, a drop of 136 ranks. Right? And last year, what was 2452 ended with 2584. So this year it will end up with about 2700. Btech Aerospace Engineering, 2,305 it was last year. It is this year 2593, a drop of 288 ranks. Aerospace fell dramatically in this particular thing. And last year it ended with 2,361. So this year it might end up with about 2,650 or something. Btech Chemical, it was 2,405 last year. It is now 2,750 this year. A dramatic drop of 345 ranks. And what was 2,405 ended with 2,464 last year. Now, if I have to go by the same trend, this might end up with about 2,800. Btech Civil, it was 4,095 last year. It is 4,376 this year. A drop of 281 ranks. By the way, for Civil, we've seen such drops across the board, not just IIT Bombay, across most of the IITs, right? And last year when it was 4,095, it ended with 4,250. So going by the same trend, it will end with about 4,500 this year. Btech Environmental Science and Engineering, 4,696 last year. It is 4,979 this year. A drop of 283 ranks. And what was 4,696 ended with 4,777. So this year will end up with about 5,100 at the most. And for BS Chemistry, it was 6,647 last year. It's 7,099 this year. And 452 rank drop is what you saw, lesser competition. And last year it ended with 7,228. So in my opinion, this will end up with about 7,400 this year. So this is what seems to be happening here. Now we also look at the branch-wise highest closing rank last year, right, across the categories. When we look at that, for Btech CSE, open category was 66 last year, EWS was 20, OBC-NCL was 54, SC was 31, and ST was 19 for CSE. For electrical, 433 it was last year, 113 for EWS, OBC-NCL was 339, 163 for SC, and ST was 96. For Btech and MEmTech Electrical Engineering dual degree, 841 for open category, 265 category rank for EWS, OBC-NCL was 549, SC was 293, and ST was 204. Btech Industrial Engineering, 1,270 was open category, 222 was EWS, OBC-NCL was 974, SC was 692, and ST was 289. Btech Engineering Physics, 1,539 for open category, 615 category rank for EWS, OBC-NCL was 1,247, 850 for SC, and ST was 638. Btech Mechanical, 1,834 for open category, EWS 336, 946 for OBC-NCL, SC is 513, and 291 for ST. Moving further, Btech Aerospace Engineering, 2,361 for open category, EWS category was 489 rank, 1,295 for OBC-NCL, SC was 703, and ST was 474. Chemical, 2,464 for open category, 500 category rank for EWS, 1,255 for OBC-NCL, SC was 735, and ST was 469. Btech Energy Engineering, 2,584 for open category, 494 EWS, OBC-NCL was 1,455, 841 for ST, ST was 732. Btech Civil, 4,250 for open category, EWS was 725, 1,829 for OBC-NCL, SC was 946, ST was 290. Btech Metallurgical Engineering and Material Science, 4,345 for open category, EWS 917, 2,159 for OBC-NCL, 1,345 for SC, and 677 for ST category. Btech Environmental Science and Engineering, 4,777 for open category, 951 for EWS, 2,587 for OBC-NCL, 1,375 for SC, and 821 for ST. So we've done this for IIT Bombay now, where we talked of what are those branches where there is greater competition because of which the ranks have fallen, and what are those branches where there is lesser competition, seems to be a lesser competition because of which the ranks have risen also, right? And we also gave you the entire category-wise list of what happened last year. We gave you a list of what happened in round 6 last year and talked to projection of what is likely to happen in the open category. If you want many more information, write to me here and I'll be happy to cover that. And I must thank our university partner, University of Victoria, which helped us put this entire thing together. Thank you so much.